All right, there we go. Welcome to episode 129 of Auto Off Topic. Hello, Brad.
What's going on, Andrew?
Did you see a 88 Conquest sold on Bring a Trailer for $27,000 today?
I did see that, yeah. It's an incredibly low mileage car, like 40,000 miles or so.
44,000 miles on it.
Which actually isn't that low compared to some others I've seen.
Yeah, but the pictures, it was mint.
It was immaculate underneath. It was like,
Showroom new.
if not better than, yeah. It had been quite detailed and cleaned.
From like Washington State.
Yeah, real clean
it was
car.
all like, chassis was all black, semi-gloss black, like it looked...
It looked factory.
Yeah.
All the fittings still looked brand new. The brakes still looked brand new. It looked like it never really been driven. So, it was
But that's the
definitely
problem with that type of car. Oh, well, we should say the week before, 89 silver car.
Yeah, it sold for like 17 grand.
17 grand.
What did that have in miles on? I don't remember.
I should have grabbed the mileage. I looked up the auction, the price on the results of Bring a Trailer, but I didn't look up the, it was still lowish mileage, like maybe in the 50s.
Was that one a Starion or a Conquest?
I think it said Conquest. You'd think a Starion would draw more money?
It's funny. When you're seeing the people that own these cars, the enthusiasts that own these cars, they seem to covet a Starion more than a Conquest. Even though it's
literally badges.
Exactly the same car. The only difference is badges, taillights, and a black grille versus a body color red grille.
Yeah, you could paint the grille if you really wanted to.
Yep.
And change the taillights.
Okay, that one last week had 35,000 miles on it.
Wow, and it went for less.
Yeah, because it wasn't quite as clean.
Hmm.
I mean, this car here, the one that just sold, was really clean. And I think it was an SHP car, too.
It was an SHP car.
The one last week was not an SHP, which for the uninitiated is
it's a
super handling package.
And that has square wheels, square setup?
Nope, it's got 1 inch wider all around.
Oh.
So a regular Conquest Starion has 7-inch front and 8-inch rears. And an SHP car has 8-inch front and 9-inch rears.
Okay.
And adjustable struts in the factory.
Yeah, so that was, top of the market cars. These used to be like $8,000, right?
Yeah. I've only seen maybe one go over 10, and it was like 10,100. It was just barely over 10, or exactly $10,000. That was actually a friend of ours' car, a local car, that he had. It was it was a very clean car. It wasn't as clean as the one that sold today, but it was really clean. And he had done, because the one thing that lets these cars down is the seats.
The leather wasn't great.
No, they all have they have a plastic strap inside the seating surface.
Yeah.
And it breaks over time, and it causes these little pinch-like spots in the leather. So he had replaced that, and he had done like a perforated leather on the seating surface. It looked really nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't factory anymore. But his car was an 88 non-SHP, but with sunroof. And I think it had 40,000 miles on it.
This red car that sold today had a sunroof.
It wasn't his car, I'd eject.
No.
Yeah. And I think he sold that car for like 10 grand.
Yeah.
So.
And that was 5 years ago, probably.
At least, yeah, maybe even a little more.
So, it's crazy how far up they've come. Are they good cars? Yeah. Are they $27,000 driving experience? I'm not sure. If you want the cleanest example and that's what you're after, then you spent the right money, I guess.
I don't think he's going to lose any money on it.
No, I don't think they will.
It turns that car into a blue chip car. You know what I mean? That car is the collector car now. Now that the car is known, it's in the market. There's a history on it. If he goes to sell that car at auction in another 5 years, he'll make at least that, if not more.
That's the one thing I really particularly like about Bring a Trailer is that it has brought notoriety to lesser known cars that weren't normally auction heavy cars, and gives them accurate auction pricing and results for enthusiasts.
Accurate's a little, they're the high end of things.
They are, but it gives it a market, right? So, when a Gallant sells and Bring a Trailer, if I need to get
it helps establish a value for like your insurance coverages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I can say, listen, if I wanted to replace it, I'd have to spend this much on it. So at least gives me leeway there. It helps everyone, believe it or not.
Well, I feel good because I spent 100% less.
You did. You've owned 4 of these cars for
4 or 5.
For a half of what this thing.
Five starring Conquests.
Yeah, for half of what this thing costs, probably total.
Not
combined.
even half. Not even half. Like to.
They were all like 100,000-mile cars, but
No, actually, my first one was not.
yeah,
The first one I had was a 60,000-mile car.
yeah.
That first red one, which I bought for like $2,000 and sold for $2,500. So
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's frustrating
that's
when
the
you're
most and
trying to get
that's
into
the most
them.
expensive one I bought. I know I paid $3,000 for one once. So
Yeah, when you're trying to get into a car like that, and then you start seeing them go up, you're like, But
I don't think you're gonna see the average ones go up that far.
most of them are not this nice at all. And the problem with a car like this, it's so nice, you could never drive it.
Yeah, it's like my father's RX-7.
Yeah,
It's
it's too nice.
It's too nice to use. So he drives it like twice a year.
Yeah, it's great if you want to be the collector and you want to sit in your garage and look at it.
If you have a museum style garage,
Yeah, but it's not a driver.
take it up on a drive twice a year like my dad does with his RX-7,
Yeah.
which is fine. He has other drivers. It's not like he doesn't drive everything. He has that one car that's a time capsule and he wants to keep it that way. So I understand that. Although with Conquests going for $27,000, it might be the time to list that one because an RX-7 is a more desirable car than a Conquest. The funny thing about Conquests and Starions, well, Starions specifically because they're sold that way outside of the North American market only. There's no Conquests outside of the United States and Canada. The Starion market in the rest of the world is a lot stronger than it is here. If you have a wide-fendered car in Australia or Japan or New Zealand or in Europe, it's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
A driver-conditioned car over there has been for a long time a $15,000 car. But for some reason, not here. Just, I don't know if it's a notoriety thing. They're more well-known over there. They're rare over there. I'm not sure what the whole issue with that is, but guys in Australia and guys in Japan have been known to buy wide-body cars from the U.S. and ship them over there because they can buy the car here for pennies compared to what they go for over there. And over there, they also come factory with a single cam 4G63, but whereas over here they have a 2.6 liter, tractor engine, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. I wonder what if you imported one, what it would be worth, if that's even worth it.
It wouldn't be worth it because it costs so much more to get an imported one. There's a really clean, even narrow car. There's a really clean narrow car that's been for sale for a little while in Japan. It's like 60,000 miles, super clean, beige and brown two-tone, like the car that is like from all the advertisements back in the early 80s.
Uh-huh.
And it's for sale for like $45,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's just the cars are worth a lot more overseas than they
For some
are
reason, you said to me that they were worth more overseas, and then I completely blanked on it,
Yeah.
and then asked you if you could buy one and bring one over here for less.
No, you definitely could not.
Weird.
They're worth a lot more overseas. And 45,000 is that's an extreme example, just like this $27,000 U.S. model that's sold today. They're not in that range, but you're gonna pay $10,000 for a driver flat car, and 15 are up. I've seen driver quality wide cars go for.
This begs the question: is what's next? It's always the question: what car is next? And if you had that crystal ball,
I don't think it's a question of next. I think it's a question of what car has been squirreled away that's going to come out of storage next. It just so happened that two of these popped up at the same time, and I'm sure this 35,000 mile one selling for $17,000 last week probably prompted the guy who had this one in his garage to be like, "Oh, that car's not worth $3,000 anymore. Maybe I'll get $15,000 for it."
yeah, I'm ready.
And then he
to get
got
rid of it.
27.
Yeah, I'm ready to get rid of it.
Yep. So good on him. I mean, and with what I say, rising tide rises all boats or whatever. So I have no thoughts that my Conquests or Starions are going to be $20,000 cars, but maybe my $1,500, $2,000 car is now a $2,500 car. It's
Maybe. The what is nice though, too, at least people are realize, and this makes me happy, that if you want to get top dollar, then you take really nice photos of your car.
Yeah.
And you present it and you describe it correctly.
Yep.
Because there's nothing worse than someone on Craigslist asking top dollar and has a couple blurry photos
one
of their
blurry
car.
photo of the right front wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at
Which we
least,
see
at
all the
least there's
time
that.
on Craig, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes. So would you think it's, of course, just the nature of it? The cars that are 30 to 40 years old are just coming into their own?
Anything that's that age that has that low a mile and is that clean is going to be worth a couple of bucks. There's no
We're out
there's
of,
no question.
we're clearly out of the chrome bumper zone.
Yeah.
Rubber bumpers
Yep.
are.
But you also have to remember that there's not a unlimited supply of super mint condition Conquest and Starions. So you've seen 2 sell in the past month. You're not going to see, many more on the market that are that clean.
Also, last week, a VR4 Spider only sold for like 23 grand.
That's the 3000 GT.
Yeah,
Well, again, that's a 99.
it was 96.
Okay, 96. It's 10 to 15 years newer, those cars, and they're not there yet.
Not quite. That's good money though for that car.
It's good money for that car. It's not good money considering they paid 70 when they bought it.
Yeah, it was the original owner car.
Yeah.
Um,
So he did okay. He
Yeah.
did better than if he bought something else at the era, but it's not.
Hard to get parts for it. We've gone over that story.
But again, any of these cars are. To an average person, they wouldn't want to deal with getting parts for a Conquest Narian either.
Yeah.
You have to know
You
what
go
you're
for a
looking for, know
944.
what you're getting. An average person wouldn't want to get parts for that either.
Why not?
It's not as easy as it is to go and get parts for
What are you talking about, average person though? Who's this average person?
I'm talking about non-enthusiasts.
Non-enthusiasts don't buy these cars.
No, they
So
don't.
that's a stupid argument.
I'm not making an argument because you're saying the 3000 GT is hard to get parts for.
Yeah.
It's no harder than it is to get for the Conquest.
It's harder.
That a Conquest?
They made less of these cars, and there's less parts available. Like they discontinued the convertible parts like real early on.
Yeah. Well, you can't buy rear struts or a center steering link for a Conquest.
Yeah.
So, those are pretty important parts. Those are 2 I can think of top of my head.
Yeah.
And you talk convertible top parts, they haven't made body parts for a Starion for 20 years.
Yeah.
You can't buy a front spoiler, you can't buy a rear spoiler, you can't buy a fender.
So as far as like out of the way enthusiast cars, enthusiasts aren't going to look like a casual enthusiast that wants an 80s car might not buy one of these because they're hard to get parts for. You'd go for something that's a little more common, like a 944, because it's easier to get parts for. They still make parts for 944s.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the stuff you need to buy on a regular basis is available for these cars.
Yeah.
You can get brakes, you can get, engine parts, you can get transmission parts.
You might not be able to do a full restoration, which I don't think anybody is going to do.
But you're not
going
to do that on a 944 either. You're not going to buy a new
Not yet.
body panels.
Not yet.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't think anything that you have to worry about is going to be an issue on a Starion as far as that
I only
goes.
picked 944 because that's like
it's a competitor
That
of
was
the
the
car.
direct competitor
Yeah.
for that car.
Yeah, it was this, the 300ZX, the 944, and the RX-7. Those were all the direct competitors.
I have not been paying attention to 300ZXs. Do you think 300ZXs are going to go?
Low mile ones have already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already up there. They're probably a similar mile, like 90 twin turbo 300ZX would have sold for about 30 grand.
Oh, I was thinking earlier, the 80s body
Yeah,
style.
those are kind of
You don't think those will go?
no.
I hate
Maybe a real low mile one, and they have a few Halo examples of those cars.
Not like
The anniversary turbos with the rear fender flares, and they call them the Shinko specials, the all white ones. Those ones do, but
what year? It's like an 88. Like
88 was the softened style, so 87 to 89, they softened the edges on the 84 to 87.
those are the pop-up headlight cars.
They're all pop-up headlights from 84
Not like
up.
those like 280ZXs are like not great looking from like the
79, 80, 81.
Yeah, I don't think they're great looking.
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay. If you compare them to like the Super Celicas and the Celicas of that era, those were better looking cars.
Not the 79, 80, but in 81,
No,
82,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, the 81, 82 were better looking car. Sleeker.
Oh, for sure.
So you've got for like, rear-wheel drive. See, I don't consider the Starion's not so much a GT car.
Sure it is.
I think it's more of a sports car than a GT car.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy car.
You think so?
Like I said, it was a direct competitor to a 944, an RX-7, and a 300ZX. If you watch like the Motor Trend reviews back in the day, those are the cars they would compare together.
So what do you think about second gen RX-7?
I love them.
They going up?
They already have again.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the base model car. but
Turbo.
a turbo RX-7, like a Turbo 2 or an Anniversary Edition, or even to a lesser extent the convertibles, they've gone up a bit in value. And I'm not talking about, again, just like with the Conquest and the Starion, not your average driver, but your low-mile, not driven example.
I haven't seen one in a while, actually. I was just thinking about that. I haven't seen one even like a Japanese car show. I haven't seen one in a while.
What, a second-gen RX-7?
Yeah,
Just come to my driveway.
yeah, I know.
There's
But
two of them there.
I haven't seen one in a while though. Like a coupe. I used to see them pretty regularly.
Yeah, they're not as common as they used to be.
No,
I see a blue one every now and again in the morning on my way to work, but
first gens like survived like crazy,
a lot of them around. A lot of them around.
but they're cool looking cars.
Yeah, I would. I've many times considered buying a second-gen RX-7 as a normal daily driver, because in my brain, an 88 or an 89 car is totally acceptable as a normal daily driver. Yeah.
And there's no. So all right. So if we're talking rear-wheel drive coupes, you have your Starion, you have your 944, RX-7, Supra.
240SX.
No, I'm talking about in. All right. So from like 1980 to like 1990,
Okay.
what
So-
car would you buy?
240SX came out in 89 or 88.
240SX.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
The
oh,
S13.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting confused with the 240Z.
But before that, there was the 200SX, which was the fastback that came with the early VQ. I think it's a VQ. It's the V6 in those. The
That's what you
3.0.
posted to our Instagram. That car.
Yep, exactly. They also came with a four-cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
The Celica was still rear-wheel drive throughout the first half of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Then there were some odd ones too. You could buy an Alpha GTV.
You could get a 11. Not wouldn't be 11 in this country, but a Corolla.
hatchback.
Whatever the
AE86.
Whatever the AE86
Yeah,
version.
I think
in
they called it a
America.
Corolla Twin Cam. I think is what
Corolla Twin
they
Cam?
marketed it as that.
Yeah.
They also had a base model version of that wasn't a twin cam with a single cam four-cylinder in it, but that
Okay.
was sold until what, 87.
Okay.
So the sport coupe market in the 80s was huge. There were
Okay.
tons of them. I mean, in the same breath, you could also include, maybe an 80s Mustang, the early 5.0 Mustangs. They're the same kind of similar performance.
Yeah, and similar size. I feel
Yep.
like.
Yep.
That's what always throws me off because the third gen Camaro Firebird is so much bigger.
Yeah,
than
they're big cars.
than everything else.
Yep.
It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. They were just way bigger.
I mean, they're not great as driving experience goes compared to all the other cars we're mentioning, but they're not terrible.
No.
They're definitely a GT car.
Yeah.
But what other rear-wheel drive? 944, you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Front
I mean,
engine rear wheel drive.
BMW 3 Series, the E30s throughout the 80s were a good car, not a decent car. So there was a lot of the front-wheel drive revolution
They were
hadn't
like
really taken over yet.
They're like a performance sedan though. Like
Yeah.
a E30.
They weren't a sports car,
They
but
weren't a sports coupe.
they,
A GT coupe. I wouldn't call it that.
maybe not then, but I think now people would more likely cross shop a 944 and an E30 than they would have when they were new.
An enthusiast would.
Oh, that's what I mean.
That's,
Yeah.
That's the only people that are buying these things.
Well, that's the only buddy who's buying anything that's not brand new or 5 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the market for brand new and 5 years old, and then you have the can't really afford anything else except for the $100 beater, and then you have the enthusiast that buys based on nothing but emotion, because that's what we buy based on.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to mention the car your coworker got for a pretty decent deal, or?
Oh, the Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of pulled a was it Tavares that does that?
Yeah.
The cheapest deal in the country. He picked up Evo X, Evo 10.
Evo 10.
Yeah, for like 16.5, with just shy of 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
Which most cars in that mileage range, believe it or not, for an 11 or 12 are $25,000.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you didn't tell me what color it was.
it's white.
White. Weightless white.
Yep. But it's still weightless white in that
Mhm.
generation. Okay, that's cool. I mean, at 16.5,
Or was Wicked White? I can't remember
it's not the cleanest car in the world,
now.
but it's not rusty.
No.
It has.
They didn't really rust that much.
No, they're pretty good compared to the early
They
ones.
had all aluminum control arms and stuff, and then the body panels were actually pretty well protected.
It has some mods to it, but they're mostly quality parts. Like it's got H&R springs. What did I say? Hotchkiss sway bars.
What year did you say it was?
It's in a 12, an 11, 12, 11 or 12.
Okay.
It's an early one.
Well, '08 was the first. There was no '09.
Yeah, that's right too. So it's a little bit later.
So 10
Yeah.
through 16.
It's 11 or 12.
So it's got the Recaro still,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
It does have Recaros.
Okay.
And they're in decent shape. Like I said, it's
Because
got
the later ones got base Lancer seats because of crash standards, and they took the Recaros out, so it was wicked goofy looking.
Yeah. So like I said, it's got H&Rs, Hotchkiss sway bars. It's got nice Toyo tires, like the nicer higher end proxies, AMS intake, and a bunch of Cobb parts, and it's all pretty much high end stuff. I'm sure the exhaust is high end too.
Yeah.
But it just needs to be replaced because it's absolutely obnoxious.
Yeah.
And he'll never get a sticker on the car.
Yeah, they're neat cars.
Yeah, no, it's listen, if I could buy that car for $16,500, I'd have bought it in a second.
The only thing he's got to watch out for is the active diff pump.
Okay.
It's in the right rear fender area. The early cars, it was in the driver's side front. So
Okay.
in the right rear, it kind of catches a lot of dirt and debris.
So it just gets grimy, and
Yeah, I mean, it's covered, but still stuff gets up in there. And
so take the cover off and clean behind there, you're saying?
yeah,
Probably a good idea.
And I mean, sometimes unfortunately, they fail. But I think there's people now that rebuild them
Okay.
because it was such a problem. So.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about the Evo 10. It kind of went beyond my knowledge base.
It's a cool car. I liked the 4B11.
It's a chain motor now, right?
Yeah,
So it doesn't have a
way better
100,000 mile
tech.
belt.
It has a actually has a stretch warning. It'll come up if the belt stretches. Yeah.
That's cool.
The intake is on the front. The exhaust is on the rear for more direct flow. It has MyVec.
Yeah, that's the other thing his car has that I'm not keen on. But it's a nice piece. It's a nice stainless steel, like very nicely put together header. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be friendly to him when he tries to get a sticker.
If there's no check engine lights, they don't look. It's got
Except that it's as loud as like an F1 car. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem.
It's got MyVec on both cams, so variable valve timing on both the intake and exhaust, where the last gen Evo before it, I think, was just on the exhaust side. So yeah, off turbo power, it has a lot more better response to the engine.
I remember driving it when you had yours. It felt less snappy than the earlier cars because it was more linear.
It is quieter inside.
Yeah.
And it was definitely as fast. It just
for sure.
feel as fast.
Didn't feel as fast. I'm sure now driving it would probably feel quick because I haven't been driving, the earlier style.
Yeah.
But going from mine to yours, it always seemed yours felt slower. But it wasn't slower, it just felt slower.
Mm-hmm. Nope, steering was still quick. Yeah, I missed that car. Oh well. Anyway.
And they haven't dropped in value at all, which is annoying. Because you bought one brand new, and it's not much cheaper to buy one now with 100,000 miles on it.
No.
So that's annoying.
Nope. And yeah. Well,
and that's what I told the kid. He's having a little bit of buyer's remorse for spending, $16,500 on something or $16,900, whatever it was. And I was like, dude, you're not going to lose any money as long as you keep it nice.
He keeps it nice.
You bought it so cheap, you're not going to lose any money.
It won't go down.
You could decide next week that you didn't want the car anymore, and you probably wouldn't have a problem selling
Because
it.
that's the other thing.
I was like, in fact, I'd probably buy it from you.
Once Mitsubishi decided they weren't going to sell these cars anymore, that kind of locked the price in.
Yep.
You're never going to get
There's
another.
not going to be another generation.
There will never ever be another Evo ever.
Not in the foreseeable future, anyway.
If it does come back, it'll be a hybrid, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah,
But-
I want to own one, but I like the whatever. I realize that I'm a curmudgeon, so it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll have another Evo someday.
Pedantic Corrections Department.
Yes.
Our friend Joe reminded us. This was from an episode way back in January. The first gen S2000 is called an AP1.
What did we call it?
I think we were confused about whether it was an AP1 or AP2 or something, or we couldn't remember.
Why would a first gen be an AP2?
Maybe we couldn't remember the code at all.
Yeah, maybe.
And he just reminded me that it stands for it's just remembered Andrew Pasquarella 1. I was like, all right, I'll never forget it now.
I guess not.
AP1. Hey, I watched the first episode of Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix.
That's a series? I thought it was a movie.
Whole series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I obviously haven't watched it yet. I thought it was a movie.
had no idea that there was an American F1 team.
Currently?
Yeah, at least up to the 2018 season.
Okay.
Haas Racing, so
Newman Haas.
but it's just Haas.
Yep, because Newman's no longer a thing.
Just the Haas.
Yep.
Half of it. It's the first U.S. F1 team that's been in the sport for like 30 or 40 years,
Okay.
and like everybody thinks they're not going to do well. So it's like it tells like that story.
The underdogs.
And yeah, I don't know anything about Formula One. I just never followed it.
I followed it when I was like 10, but I haven't followed it since then. So
This is
since the
interesting now.
late 80s, early 90s.
And like the first episode is all about Haas, and it's about the Red Bull Aston Martin team, which is so weird that Red Bull is considered a manufacturer.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
So they brand
it's
the
like-
chassis. So Red Bull owns the company that makes the chassis.
yeah. So it's like like Ferrari, McLaren,
Red Bull.
Mercedes,
Yeah.
Red Bull.
That's weird.
It is weird, right?
Yeah,
But that's the way it is.
I'm out of the loop. So okay, I've heard Red Bull Racing Team, but I assumed it was just like the sponsorship dollars.
But they did the first episode that way because they focused on I can't remember his first name. Ricardo is the last name. He's the Australian driver, and the first race of the season is in Australia. So if you know F1, you're like you're probably screaming at your radio right now. But
we can't know everything
no.
or anything sometimes.
But I like it because it's when you watch it. If you've seen Senna,
Daniel Ricciardo.
If you've seen Senna, it's from the director of Senna or the producer of Senna. It looks like
Shot very
some of the
similar.
shots are very similar. They have the camera shots. Like it's really really well done. Like they had really cool access, and I definitely watch it. It's worth
All right,
it.
maybe I'll start when I get
Yeah.
home tonight.
And what you should do, actually, because Senna is now back on Netflix because it was off for a while.
Yep.
If you haven't seen that,
I have not seen Senna.
watch it. It's totally worth a watch. Even
Yeah, I
if
know
you're
it is.
not that into F1, it's so good. It's
I
one
know
of the
some
best documentaries.
like non-car people enjoyed that movie because of how well it was done.
It's
So
really well done, and it's when you watch it, it's done. There's very few, like some documentaries. They do a lot of interviews and then show stuff. It's very much shown through the archival footage, and with just like voiceovers, and not a lot of like face in front of camera interviews. So
Okay.
it was a really cool
it's a
way
lot
to do
more
a documentary.
visually interesting.
Yeah, and I love watching documentaries, but part of it is I like documentaries. Part of it is I like to watch the way they're made.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Should have gotten to film school, Andrew, not English.
Hey, you can make films without going to film school.
All right, so let's
Um,
make some films.
yeah. 100 Acre Wood Rally is this weekend in Salem, Missouri.
We will not be there.
No. But so it's the first round of the Rally America Series, and the big news: the top Subaru team is you've probably seen they've gone to throwback colors,
Yeah, because it's there's a Solberg in the car.
but not Peter Solberg.
Right.
Oliver Solberg, his son,
Oliver.
17-year-old son,
Yeah, which is insane to think about, but
who's like a crazy good rally driver over in Norway.
I think it was him in the last Gymkhana video too, was it not?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't really care that much about the blue and gold, blue and yellow. I liked the current stuff, the gray and
You don't care for
White.
I mean the like 555 Subaru Liberty?
it doesn't. I don't think it looks that good on the new car.
I haven't really looked much. I
Hot
guess.
take. I don't think it looks that great on the new car.
I mean, it's tradition, so that's why it's there. Subarus are blue.
It's not-
World Rally blue. It's not World Rally gray.
They might have gone with on the newer cars. I feel like it's almost the earlier color, darker blue with the yellow 555, or the 555 yellow, than the later WRC blue. They look a little bit darker,
I'm trying to pull up a picture right now.
but I liked the blue gray and the pink gray.
I don't know. I think this is pretty close to like the old Colin McRae car.
Then that's the darker color blue. I mean, they look alright. They look.
I don't hate it. I like the throwback livery.
It's cool. I mean,
I think what's cool is that Subaru made it their own. Like, they went from being the 555 sponsorship to just being Subaru and using the same colors and just eliminating the, controversial cigarette sponsorship company.
well, it's kind of like how McLaren adapted the yellow and orangey red from Marlboro and just
Yep.
kind of adapted it to just
Stuck
being
with it.
McLaren colors. Yeah.
Just because it became a recognizable thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. It doesn't. I wouldn't care either way if they used that or came up with some new crazy livery.
No, I like it. I think the only problem with it is that it's basically the Subaru logo on the side of the car, just enlarged, really large.
Yeah.
But I think it's too large. I think that the yellow stripe is just too wide. If they made it smaller like it used to be, it'd be cool.
It might be because the shape of the car doesn't make me nostalgic for it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So Higgins and Drew are running the whole season.
In gray cars, so don't worry about it. You get to see your lovely gray cars.
Oh, I thought they were running the.
No, they're running the gray, blue, and white like they did last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I thought they were all running. The
I think
colors.
only Solberg is running that.
Oh, well, in that case, that's cool.
In fact, I'm looking at pictures right now of Snowdrift.
Yeah.
And it's the old style.
Okay. So then the Pastrana's only running like 2 rallies, and then Solberg and his co-driver Johnson are going to run all the other ones.
Okay.
So they're not going to run 3 cars at once because that'd be kind of ridiculous.
Who are we getting in Maine?
Solberg.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
That'll be cool to see.
Yeah.
Means maybe Petter will be there.
Probably.
That'd be cool.
Oh.
Get a chance to meet Petter
I
Solberg.
didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But and then the version 2 or whatever the hell it is the Ken Block Cosworth. It's like
Oh yeah, the Escort Cosworth.
super wide body fenders now.
Yeah, it's weird looking. Wants to make it wider to find more rocks, I guess.
I think it's wider to like have more suspension travel and be competitive with modern cars.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but it's whatever. I wasn't there for last year, unfortunately, because I was in the middle of selling my house, and my open house happened to be that Sunday, so
Just,
didn't work out. But I'll be there this year.
I guess it's cool.
No, it's cool. I like listen, and I think I said it before on the air. I have no problem with the way Ken Block drives cars, and he brings a lot to the sport. So keep doing it. It's fine. Yeah, it sucks if you wreck a non-replaceable rally car, but I mean, there's still thousands of Cosworth Escorts in the world. It's not like there's 2 left. It's not the end of the world. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Life will go on if he crashes another Escort, but I still want to see it. So I'm upset I didn't get to see it at all last year because it's one of my favorite rally cars of all time. I'd love to see one driven in anger.
Yeah, I was trying to check. Instagram is currently broken in New England.
He's broken everywhere, I think.
Yeah, it's broken in a lot of places. I was trying to check on some local rally teams that are running because I believe Cooper Auto Works, who follows us, is running.
Okay. Is that a Mini Cooper?
Nope.
Oh, BMW.
Yeah, E30.
Yeah.
And there's that Mad Cheshire.
Yes.
They are running
They
a
go
lot
on
of VR4.
VR4. Are they coming to New England this year?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about they're running.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I wanted to give a shout out to some listener-known teams because, all the big teams get all the press.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the small teams are what make rallies happen.
Right. So you get press from us, which is,
Listen.
take that to the bank.
Yeah. Don't cash that check. Don't. It's made of rubber. Don't do that.
Yeah. I think they are running this weekend. I think I did see some stuff about them running.
Yeah, I wanted to double check and make sure. But yeah.
Well, if they are running, good luck. If you're not running,
good luck to next.
Good luck next time.
And all the local small teams, good luck to you guys.
Yes.
Have a safe rally. Finish. Run strong. Have fun.
So when you were talking about Ken Block and his Escort, were you talking about Maine still, or are you talking about this weekend?
He's running this weekend too.
Okay.
He was out there testing.
So he may not be running that car in Maine. No. I'm not saying he's going to crash it where he is now. I'm just saying
he's doing some weird world tour where they're going they're taking it over all over the world.
Maine is part of the world, so I hope it comes there.
All right.
Facebook is actually also currently down, it seems. Because
everything's down.
I was just
if
going
you've
to
got
look.
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, I read an article. They're all currently down in different places. They have different levels of function. So
because I just logged into there to see if I could see those said race teams updates on Facebook instead of Instagram, but apparently not. Nope. So apparently our counting on social media.
We tried to do our homework, and it didn't work.
Well, our We're trying to turn in our paper last minute here because we're actually sitting in front of our computers while recording, while looking it up.
No, I tried to look it up beforehand, and I was hoping to look it up again. Maybe it was working. But whatever.
Nope, everything's down.
Let's open up this beer you've got here. Dogs and Boats.
It's locals from Connecticut.
Double India Pale Ale, Citra and Mosaic hops.
Yeah, I had one last night. It was really good.
And earlier, I just had some highlights,
Yeah, that's not.
which are good.
It's not worth noting. It's
I think
common.
they're good. They weren't common a year ago
They're okay.
because I found them. Jordan and I found them in Sebring, and we drank them while we were going around Sebring. So now forever they remind me of going to the Sebring 12 hour and drinking them.
Well, forever they remind me of not going to Sebring. So that was from a brewery in Connecticut called Beard. It's BEER apostrophe D.
The Beard.
But the guy has a beard.
Beer
in the
apostrophe
logo.
D.
It's BEER, like beer apostrophe D.
Beer apostrophe D.
Yeah, Beard Brewing Company.
Yeah, Beard.
Beard.
How's that pour? It smells good.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
Oh yeah, that's definitely an IPA.
Yep, that's why I brought one can so that we could have it and not die. Because it's like 9-something%. Oh, that was good.
That's all right.
You spilled in our quarter?
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Okay, good. Well, that's good because 2 weeks ago I spilled in my computer and it's fine. So
Yeah.
anyway, what else is going on tonight, Andrew? As Andrew gets up and walks away, it leaves me to say something, but it didn't leave me with any lead on whatsoever. Just at a dead spot in the recording.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, great. What else do we have to talk about tonight, Andrew? What else is going on in the world of cars and auto off topic?
I don't know. You haven't fixed your Raider yet.
Gee, thanks for the reminder. We're doing that tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we can do that tomorrow.
Okay. So we're going to test the vacuum advance. We're going to check vacuum lines. We're going to pull the cap off and test the vacuum system and see if it moves or doesn't move, or if it's stuck or the weights are stuck or what's going on with it. So
Yeah, when you dropped me off at the house the other day, I could definitely smell the catalytic converter.
Yeah, which is brand new, so I'd like to not burn that out. It would be nice. But yeah, I've actually not worked on a car in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I don't think you have either.
No.
So it's time we did something.
Ooh, that's a good IPA. I pulled the Montero out of storage,
Okay.
which was just in my backyard.
Right. So you started it.
Yep.
Uneventful.
Drove around.
Yep.
It was like stalling.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe the throttle plate needs to be cleaned.
Probably because it's an old Mitsubishi.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do...
It's probably fine. Let's drive it to Vermont.
No, actually, we're going to go drive it. We're going to do a TSD.
We're going to do a TSD. This
That's
weekend,
what we're
isn't it?
doing this weekend.
Yeah.
The Frost Heaves TSD, which is like after... Because we missed Winter Challenge Rally, so it's like the second TSD of the season. And it's always like... It's like they always try to do it with snow on the ground, and for some reason...
It never works
It
out.
never works out.
Yeah.
So it just ends up being this mud season run
Yep.
through back roads of New Hampshire.
Which, if you listen to this episode the day it comes out or the day after, you have time to sign up still.
Nope.
No, it's all
Nope.
sold out.
Today.
Never
On
mind.
the day we're recording this.
So
It
if
is-
you want to do it, ride with somebody else. You can put 3 in a car, I think.
No, it's they haven't changed the rule yet. If the person is under 12, you get
Okay,
3
so
in
if
the
you're
car.
listening to this and you're under 12, I don't know what you're doing. Go find something more interesting. But you can ride with somebody in the car. Preferably your own parents.
Yeah, it starts. It'll start like mid New Hampshire, and they just kind of go over it. It's probably like 150 miles.
Yep. I mean, last year ended at like, or last time we went, the year before last,
It always ends at the, or lately it's been ending at the.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Was that rally?
Oh, that was one of them.
Yeah.
This one, it's going to end. The last couple of years, it's ended at the something drive-in. It's in Meredith.
Okay.
It's like
Better than Buffalo Wild Wings, though.
yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. It's a 50s diner.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
Haven't been to that one yet. The last
you've
one
definitely been to that one.
I mean, not with the rally. The last one I went to ended at Buffalo Wild Wings.
You've definitely been to this diner with me before.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But not during the rally is what I'm saying.
No, definitely during one of the rallies.
Maybe not this rally, though.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I remember you being there, but regardless.
Okay. I don't remember being there, so... We'll find out who's right later on. The other thing going on this weekend is way more nerdy, believe it or not, than a TSD.
Yeah.
Because on Sunday, I think we're going to go to the local model car show.
Oh, we're doing all the nerd things.
Yes. Which
I don't think we talked about the weekend before we went go-karting. Maine Indoor.
we did.
Yeah. If you're in Maine, New England, there's actually a bunch of go-karting places opening up, like indoor ones.
Like a super high amount.
Yeah.
Very weird.
We did have a local K1 open up, which is actually the best electric one I've been to. But forever we had F1 Boston, who got sued by F1, so now they're X1 Boston. And they have an outdoor spot that's a little farther south of Boston. That's really good. They were like, I remember they opened up in like 2002, because I remember going there in like 2003, and it was pretty cool. And I've been there a bunch of times. And but the place that's actually closer, well, it's about the same distance from where we live, is up in Maine. It's a little bit smaller because it's just like a warehouse and there's no elevation change, but it's like way more
nice.
laid back,
Yeah.
and like the people that work there are super nice.
And they maintain the carts better than some of the big ones do, too.
Yeah, and it's like super fun.
And for the first time in Andrew and Brad karting history, Brad had a faster lap than Andrew for the day.
Yep. I mean, I got a bad cart, but
Right, all 5 times.
no, I was getting warmed up.
Right. Anyway.
Right off the box,
I'm going to take this victory. Off the box?
Yeah, right out of the box.
Yeah.
I smoked everyone for like 2 or 3 races.
Okay.
And then I got a couple bad cards.
It only matters the fastest lap time of the day. That's what we go, as we've always based it on. So
Yeah, because it's so hard to pass.
Right.
We just go by time attack.
So when you were winning all the time, you always based it on fastest lap of the day. So I'm going to take this moment to have a small victory for myself and base it on fastest lap time of the day, which actually was fastest lap time second fastest in our group because Jordan beat us both.
Yeah.
But he was 5th fastest out of everybody in the place for the day.
Yeah.
And I was 7th out of everybody in the whole place for the day, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But
so, yes.
And then actually
Small victories. I've never been to George's Diner. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
You've definitely been there.
100% not.
And then our other friend Joe, who brought his son with him, learned how to go kart that day. They gave him
his son did, yeah.
Yeah, a junior karting class. And he actually did really well.
He was only like a second and a half behind us.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
He picked it up real fast. He started out the first like junior class. He was in the 35s, and then he started running with us, and he got into like 26s, 25s, 24s. Like, all right, man, good. So
and Liz, driver of the Spaghetti Rally Golf,
oh yeah,
had her first karting experience.
That's right.
And she went into it, and she definitely had the attitude of like, I have a real race car. What am I even doing here? Until running one race in it, and she was hooked. She had a great time too. So
it definitely helps the kart control. It helps you be smoother because the inputs. If you're really jerky with inputs in a kart,
you crash.
You're all over
slide.
the place.
Yeah.
So,
but it was cool to see her go from like I don't understand this to oh my god, this is amazing.
My favorite thing about karting is that I don't have to maintain the car.
Okay.
I just show up, beat the shit out of it, and then go home.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's it.
Yep.
And it's like there's like no investment.
It's way easier to drive an hour and a half. It's way easier to drive an hour and a half than it is to work on a car for 2 weeks to get it ready for an event.
Yeah. So occasionally, like I love to just go and just blow off steam doing that. So it's a great stress.
I do wish it was a little cheaper. It winds up being an expensive day, especially when it's that far away. And then you go with a group of friends, so you want to go on a dinner or something afterwards, and you want to spend a couple $100 on the day. So I guess at the end of the day, it's not huge money, but
what we're gonna have to check out is that K1 does drift nights.
Yes, I want to try that.
So they put plastic tires on the carts and let you just drift around.
That sounds fun.
So we missed the one that was last Monday night, but the next one is like April 8th, and it's like nationwide at all the centers.
Okay, so it's probably super busy then.
Maybe we'll see, but we should try to check one out. Other than that,
I'll try it.
I don't think I think we covered everything.
Yeah. So this Saturday is the TSD. This Sunday is the Model Car Show, which is where it always is in March. It's in Taunton. Is it Holiday Inn?
Yeah,
I think it's a Holiday Inn.
What's the name of it?
Holiday Inn?
No, the name of the show.
I don't even know anymore. It changed.
It's not NASCAR anymore.
It's not NASCAR anymore. Yeah,
it's put on by just one guy, right?
I would look it up on Facebook, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, Facebook's not working. Good job. I forgot about it though.
It's called.
It starts at
RTS.
Yeah, RTS Expo.
RTS Expo, and I don't know what that means, But it's basically the old NASCAR show, same location, same basic
NASCAR
format.
didn't want to keep doing it, but one of the guys that was in the club wanted to keep doing it,
Yeah.
so he took it over. Stu.
Yep. Maybe he's the S in RTS.
Maybe.
Yes, it's RTS Expo.
Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee, the date got updated for the first one. It is the 14th.
14th of April?
Not the 21st, the 14th of April.
Okay.
Because it's not Easter. It's
Right.
the 14th of April.
1-4.
Yeah. The early event was the date of Easter, and
We changed it.
it got moved.
Yeah.
So it's earlier, the 14th. So get your fix earlier on the 14th. There's already over 800 people showing interest in it. So.
That happened last year too.
Yeah.
And the first event was everybody was stir crazy, and it was 600 cars showed up.
Yeah.
Just ruined the parking lot.
Yeah. Again, don't be a jerk. Just show
Yeah.
up, hang out.
Although I assume that if they're listening to us, they're probably not a jerk.
No.
So
Maybe. You
I
know.
really hope to have the Blue Colt out by then. I think it should be hopefully clear enough.
I think we'll get there.
Because it's supposed to get to 60 this week. Oh, damn it, weather. We almost made it. And I talked weather.
That was what you did.
It's supposed to be 60 this weekend and pouring rain the same day. So hopefully that means that the roads will be clear enough and no salt will be down. Then I'll be able to take the car out. So I got to put some miles in that car to get it ready for its big trip this June and July.
Sure.
It's going to get a lot of miles this year.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so, Andrew.
You all should check out the Gearhead Project.
Yes.
It's just thegearheadproject.com.
Assumedly, in the future, you can look it up on Facebook.
He did create a Facebook page for it.
Yep.
So go check it out. And so as always, find us on Facebook. You thought I was going to say the end of it.
Not tonight.
Yeah, you can't find us tonight.
Well, hopefully by tomorrow you'll be able to. We'll see what happens.
Oh, maybe Facebook will just explode and just
I'll tell you
make
what,
us all a better place.
With Instagram and Facebook down today, I was really functional at work.
That's the only thing I miss is Instagram. I could do without Facebook. Yeah, find us on Facebook, Auto Off Topic Podcast. Find us on Instagram, Auto Off Topic. Find me on Instagram, Race and Anger.
Find me on Instagram, TSISS350.
All right, keep cars analog and aim for the roses.